and being part of what we hope will be a very important day in sport. I've spent a lifetime in sports. I've got old friends sitting here. Some of them have spent a lifetime there as well. And they will tell you that there is nothing better than to spend a life in sports. I mean, there's other ways of living it, but you're blessed if you can spend a lifetime in sport. There are few better things in life, as I said. I look around every day, and I get the feeling that every single thing that I see in life is actually drawing people towards the glory and the beauty of sport. And that is why the whole theme for today, the metaphor, the motive almost for today is about sport. And the way sport is presented to you is a big part of the glory of sport. And that's something I've been very lucky to have seen very closely myself over the years. So the raw brutality of UFC and mixed martial arts, a rather more genteel approach of golf. There's everything. There's a lot of cricket as well, lots of football, lots of tennis, so it's going to be great fun. As I said, sports getting multidisciplinary, multi-sport, और आजकल हम हिंदी में भी वार्तालाप कर लेते हैं हम सब सारे. जो करते नहीं थे वो भी करने लगे हैं, जो पहले करते थे उनके लिए तो बहुत अच्छी बात हो गई अब. So there you are. That is about the sport that's going to be on television. You've got a pretty good idea of what lies in store all across the Indian subcontinent. I travel around the world and I see more sport in India than I see anywhere else in the world. And I think as sports viewers in India, we're all blessed. We see more sport in India than anywhere else in the world. So what is sport all about? Why is it that all of us enjoy sport so much? Why are we all so passionate about sport? I'm going to call on stage somebody who embodies, for all of us, for all of you, the very essence of sport itself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet him. Sony Pictures Network Ambassador for Sport.
Good to see you.
Someone you know very well, Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Good to see you. Rajesh, NP, Sachin, come along.
Come here. Come, Sachin. Who's sitting there?
We've done this before. Come along.
Come here. Good to see you.
Rajesh, you talked about multi-sport. I've gone along and talked about multi-sport, multilingual as well. And you've got a cricketer who sort of embodies everything about cricket. So why Sachin?
I guess this was the easiest, and he's the greatest, and he's the best. The thing is, first of all, let me correct you. Sachin, though he's the greatest cricketer this entire world has seen, but he very passionately actually follows so many other sports. And his vision about, he also wants to build this entire country into that multi-sport thing, and that actually matches with our vision also. And that was the simple reason. And also the fact that when you talk about Sachin, you talk about excellence, you talk about, we saw so many things which were basically forming the entire Sachin phase there. the excellence, the passion, the hard work, you know, that going beyond your limits. That's something which we actually relate to, we identify with that, and we want our sports network to be like that. So very, very easy decision for us.
One of the other advantages of being Sachin, of course, is that you get good tickets to see Roger Federer play every time, which is not a bad thing at all. So when two of the biggest names in sport come together, it fuels passions, like all of us know. There's a reason that we're all here. And this collaboration is the heart of something special. So let's take a look at what's coming our way. Let's take a look at this film. Pictures like these, and we go, wow. And then you go and watch Formula One, you go and watch tennis as well. You mingle with royalty in other sport. Do you relive your own moments sometimes when you're with all these giants, when you see legends like these?
It's fantastic because, you rub shoulders with some of the champions and not just in the current era, but also, when I was at the Wimbledon, got to meet the great Rod Laver, Bjorn Borg, all amazing personalities. And when you go to Formula One, you get to meet such great personalities who've achieved so much in life. To be able to be there and breathe that atmosphere, soak in that atmosphere, it's simply incredible. Because I remember there was a race in Silverstone which I watched when Sir Frank Williams was there, and also the other Sir Jackie Stewart, the great Formula One champion. And actually, Sir Jackie Stewart did a great walk with me. He said, I'm going to take you all around and tell you and speak more about Formula One. And that was one race which I sat with both of them, just the three of us sat, and we watched, which was an experience for me because I could actually hear what they were communicating with the driver and how they were planning. Obviously, it was supposed to be confidential, and I just kept quiet as a big fan, and I was just absorbing everything for those couple of hours. It was really enlightening. What goes beyond a Formula One race, because all you see is cars going round and round the circuit, and we feel कि इसमें और क्या देखने की बात है. There is much beyond that.
Yeah, it feels like a giant mosquito just whizzing by sometimes. But some of us would like to actually sit in and get a little director's cut of your commentary while the game is going on one day. So maybe we'll do that as well. So as you can see, there's lots happening. There's lots of sport. Sachin loves every single sport as well. There's lots lined up now. Before we move on to this conversation, let's see what a lot of the other channels have to offer. Let's see what else is lined up. Thinking of that, and I'm imagining Sachin doing a choke slam.
She did. Incredible story. And then how does that happen? That happens only because we've got to see our heroes on television. And this platform is such a powerful platform to change our nation. Because I believe, I keep hearing about India is going to be, by 2020, the youngest nation as far as the average population is concerned. That is one side of the coin. Nobody knows the other side of the coin, which one may choose to ignore, but we should not ignore, because when it comes to obesity, we are number 3 in the world. So a young and unhealthy population, to me, is a perfect recipe for disaster. Let's change that. I mean, I know we like watching sport, and I was sharing my thought with a couple of friends in the Royal Box, actually. I said, the guys like to sit back on the sofa and watch. They are less participative. The new India we should try and change is more participative. We should watch and participate, because in return, what we get is healthy life. And I've always been brought up with my grandmother telling me health is your real wealth, look after your health. And that's what I would say. Spend less time on the dining table, more in the gym.
Go out and play, go out and play. Teaches you a hell of a lot. I mean, you might only play, as he said, we don't have to be Tendulkars or Messis. We play at school, we play at college, we played in the community. There's one thing that I've learned about sport, which is when the ball's coming at you, you've got bat in hand, ball in hand, it doesn't matter. All the things you'd read on the front pages of the newspapers and how we try and divide people, balls and bats and footballs, and they don't know divisions. Where does sport feature in the whole Sony gamut? Because you're not only sport, you're everything.
At Sony Pictures Network, our strategy is built around three major pillars. One is entertainment, second is digital, and the third is sports. So sports is an extremely important part of our overall strategy, and it is, as I was saying, and Sachin also said the same thing, India is a very young country and is only getting younger. And therefore, it's our responsibility to take different sports to our youth, to encourage them to be part of it and actually play the sport as much as they can. And if we can make a small difference through our network of channels, it'll give me a lot of satisfaction. So sports is an extremely important part of our strategy, not just on television, but also on digital. A lot of the properties that Rajesh spoke about earlier can be accessed on our digital platform, Sony Live as well. And we all know that youth is consuming a lot of digital content. So we thought that we must give them an opportunity to access live sports on that platform as well, so that they become closer to sport and make sport a part of their life.
Data plans are getting bigger as well. Don't let them escape. They can watch sport anywhere. What are the thinking behind that positioning? One cricket, one football, one WWE. WWE is bigger than almost all of us imagine, by the way.
No, I guess as I said during the presentation that obviously the consumer interest, I mean, today, if you look at India, I mean, there are close to more than 850 channels in the country. There are more than maybe 25, 30 sports channels. And consumer is completely confused, what content is going to come on which channel. So to give that clarity to them, and secondly, luckily for us, because we have so much of volume that we could actually create the destination for each sport. So that is the whole philosophy. So that's why, if Sony 6 is going to be showing most of the cricket, and NBA 10-1 will be on WWE, then 10-2 will be on football, and 10-3 will be all the Hindi and the mix, and ESPN is all the international content. So purely from the consumer benefit point.
There was a line when you were coming in, I don't know if you actually got to see it, and it said, if sport is a teacher, then you are the best student. What have you learned from? Because you like calling yourself a student of sport, something you should be teaching it, but you always call yourself a student.
Yeah, I was brought up like that because I still remember.
All the teaching was done by your father?
Yes, that was off the field, but on the field teaching was done by my brother and my coach, Achrikar sir. And the first thing he told me was, you always have to be a student of this game. I remember after every match, sir would be hiding somewhere behind a tree and watching us. So first few games, we didn't know, we were up to mischief, and it was only 11 then, so that upna allowance was allowed. So we would do that, and sir would be marking, noting down a lot of things. And there used to be a session called demonstration. So he used to call, demonstration ke liye aa jao sir. So sir would stand there in the middle with a bat and a ball and would tell us what went wrong and what we could have done and give us those options. So our upbringing was different. And then from there on, every time, whatever happened in school, cricket, whatever, I would always speak to my sir. And the mischief was less because we knew that sir is watching. We can't see him, but he's watching us. So that was obviously there. But also that went beyond my school days, which was with my brother, because my brother occasionally, Ajit, traveled on tours with me. Not many tours, but he did a couple of tours. But one thing never failed was a phone call between us after every match, every innings, every evening. And we would discuss. We would discuss what went wrong and where I can get better. And if you're prepared to accept your mistakes, you become a better player. And I woke up every morning chasing something. I wanted to become a better player. I wanted to correct something. I wanted to go and perform better. And that continued all the way till the last innings of my career. Now, you guys will find this funny, but even when I got out in Mumbai against West Indies, that evening my brother called me and said, you know, this happened and you should have done this. These were the options and all that. So second innings and this and that, don't do that and all that. And I'm like telling myself, you know, actually lag raha hai ki second inning aayegi batting because West Indies we were polishing them off. I thought the bowlers were really bowling well. But till the last day of my career, I was a student and I will always continue to be a student because we all get out, we all play certain shots where you come back to the dressing room and you feel, oh, maybe a better option tha mere paas. So as long as that is there, you will continue to move forward in life.
So you meet all these people when you go around. You bump into a racing legend somewhere. You bump into a tennis legend somewhere. Is there a little mutual admiration thing that goes on? You know, I met Roger. Roger says, I met Sachin.
No, Roger,
Roger, he's the only one. Roger, you know, because I
he
just said
follows
Roger,
cricket.
yeah.
He follows cricket. Also, you know, something which I learned was when Roger is playing video games, Roger prefers to be Sachin. And when Sachin is playing any racket game, I prefer to be Roger.
Does he? See, I learned something new today.
Well, but I thought this was already out somewhere.
Was it? You play the backhand like him on the video game? Because that's probably the last time someone will play a backhand as sublime as that.
Only on video games. When there is no net in between, I'm a very good tennis player.
Nah, that's all right. Sachin, thank you very much for coming along. There's going to be lots happening with this association and much more on Sony Pictures Network. So we'll let Sachin go and take the rest of the evening. But thank you very much, and we'll stay in touch through Sony Pictures Network to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.